good morning, but I guess it's good afternoon now. I was going to try to memorize it, but it's so funny. You made it. It was touch and go last night, brother. It really was. For those of you who know who I am, I'm the son of late Assistant Chief Ken Jeffery, and it's my absolute honor and privilege to speak at this historic event, the biggest retirement party. I'd like to start by saying the last time I spoke at a submarine-based fire department event didn't go so hot for me. And I've been working on it. And if you guys want to know the rest of the story, we can go to the bar and I'll tell you guys. Clap. David Dow texted me today, and he said, I can't make it today, sorry, but you're welcome. I'd like to start by personally thanking Mrs. Clapsaddle. You raised a son who is fearless, loyal, and compassionate. So from everyone here in this room, thank you very much. Second, Bobette, Michael, and Mitchell. The sacrifices of family you guys have endured so your husband and father could be the best fire chief in Eastern Connecticut is unparalleled. There's safer firemen and smarter firemen because of Tom Clapsaddle. I had to rewrite this thing 5 times because of the tears. I'll get there. I'm going to try to keep it very short because I'm towards the end. I had 2 idols in my life. They weren't athletes, actors, or superheroes. And I'm fortunate to say Tommy Clapsaddle was one of my idols. I remember when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I heard word that Tommy and a couple of the guys from the sub base were going to come down to Winslow Locks. So as any 8 or 9-year-old kid, I booked off sick. I didn't go to school. My dad let us slide and said, don't tell your mom, just she's sick when she gets home from work. Those guys were Tommy Clapsaddle, Harry Reid, and Randy Carroll. Zach Herman. We buffed, we had lunch at the Donut Kettle, and it was one of the greatest days of my life. Chief, the bar is set and the script's been written. You did a great job. From the moment you were hired at 19, you were set for great things. The commitment and dedication you've shown to the submarine-based fire department is unparalleled to anything else. When you lose a parent, it's one of the hardest things someone can go through. Days and weeks fly by like nothing ever happens. Then there's those days and moments that you wish they were there. Today's one of those days, but I think our dads are sitting up there looking down at you thinking you did one hell of a fucking job, Chief, okay? Sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Sorry. I'm sorry. I was good. It wasn't even there. We may never hear you sign out with ground fire alarm again, but we can all listen to you on Marine Channel 69, which is it's a legit channel, guys. If you're not fishermen, it's a legit channel, all right? Enjoy a long, healthy retirement, Chief. I love you. Forever. I'm going to leave you guys with a quote. From Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there's no path and leave a trail. Well done, Chief. You did a great job. I love you.
All right, our final speaker before we get to the presentation of gifts. I'd like to introduce Chief Jeffery Rheaume from the Paquonic Bridge Fire Department. Tough crowd to go after, man. Timmy, good job. I'm not going to throw any F-bombs up, so I got you beat there. There's also a work party tonight at Clap's house to build an addition for all this stuff that you guys gave. But seriously, Chief Clapsaddle, Tommy, Master Captain, TA, Captain Clapsaddle, Tom, and a recent addition as a couple days ago, an honorary submariner. Very proud of you for that. We all know Clap by different titles and different names, but we all kind of seem to know him the same way, right? I love him just like everybody else that came before me today. About a week and a half ago, the Day Paper wrote an awesome article about the submarine-based fire department. Really summed up Chief Clapsaddle's career as an avid reader of the day and an infrequent commenter. I felt that I was really eager to comment on this particular article. But what I found was Captain Curtin stole a lot of my thunder in that article, and he praised Chief Clapsaddle, and he described him as an exceptional leader, his steadfastness in ensuring all aspects of first response were always addressed, his efforts to build and maintain community and mutual aid relationships, his genuine concern for the safety, well-being, and quality of quality of life for firefighters, sailors, and families, and his commitment to recognizing those who served before him. I mean, nobody could really say it any better. I really hope there's some new firefighters in the room that hear the CO's words and are really inspired by them, because they should be. Relationships before issues, pride and ownership, mission first, that is CLAP. As a firefighter from outside and inside the fence line, I'd like to think all of us in this room share a similar commitment to those who we serve and serve with. But CLAP always remained keenly focused on the primary mission of the SBFD, which was protecting the security of our homeland and our country by protecting our Navy, its sailors, and its fleet. When I began to think about this level of commitment, I wanted to gain a better understanding of the guiding principles that motivate and direct our Navy. Because obviously Chief Clapsaddle, or Clap, followed some type of creed over the course of the last 35 years. I'd argue that he had a strict creed even before coming to the submarine-based fire department. I quickly found some words that Clap lived by in his life and during his career. These words are taken from the Naval Special Warfare Command, with a few fire department variations. I am a disciplined, confident, and highly motivated warrior, or in his case, firefighter and fire chief. My honor and integrity are beyond reproach, my commitment unquestioned, and my word trusted. The American people depend on me to carry out my mission in a professional manner. I maintain my craft, equipment, and myself at the highest level of combat readiness. I set the standard and lead by example. I am responsible for my actions and accountable to my teammates. I challenge them to perform as I expect them to challenge me. I am ready for war, or in Clap's case, ready for fire duty. Let me pause for a second. He's the only guy I know that could tell a commanding officer of a base that he loves going to fires, by the way. He said this the other day, and I said, what do you think the CO likes? And he said, taking a submarine through the slot south of the race. But I digress. So let me get back to the warfare command. I will close and engage the enemy with the full combat power of my craft. My actions will be decisive yet measured. I will always complete the mission. I will never quit, and I will leave no one behind. So a quick story, right? Because that's Clap. I think he lives by those words. But a quick story. You're officially off the books, right? Okay. But just a quick illustration, though, of the kind of guy he is and how much he loves the fire duty and the fire service. So back in 1994-95, acting Captain Clapsaddle would take our crew up to Proteus Avenue, Navy housing area where they were going to tear down these buildings. And at night, we would force doors, stretch hose lines, talk about tactics in the cover of darkness, almost like a stealth covert naval mission in itself, right? Because we weren't really supposed to be up there, but we kind of found our way up there. But it was all to make us better. These were some of the best times, like Chief Manfredi said, some of the best times in my career, and made us all better firefighters. This was the level of commitment that Chief Clapsaddle had as a young firefighter and fire officer, which brings me to the Navy Core Values Charter. Commitment. That word comes right from the charter. Honor, courage, and commitment. From the early days of naval service, certain bedrock principles or core values have carried on to today. They consist of these three basic principles. Core attributes. The four core attributes of initiative, accountability, integrity, and toughness serve as guiding criteria for our decisions and actions. If we abide by these attributes, our values of honor, courage, and commitment will be clearly evident in our actions. And lastly, mission. The Department of the Navy will recruit, train, equip, and organize to deliver combat-ready naval forces to win conflicts and wars while maintaining security and deterrence through sustained forward presence. Now, I don't know about you, but I see all of these characteristics in Chief Clapsaddle. And maybe what's more impressive is I see it in the people that Clap has touched and had an impact on, and even more importantly, I see it in the departments that those people now represent. So his legacy is carried on throughout our entire area. There are many good fire chiefs, but in my opinion, a great chief is someone who has an impact beyond his four walls. Fast or RIT, response, firefighter wellness, and forging positive relationships that have lasted for decades now with mutual aid departments are literally just a few small examples of how Chief Clapsaddle has left a legacy inside and outside of the submarine-based fire department. Not everyone gets to relish in their success. As I said, no fires until after 4. Not everybody gets to relish in their successes. Sadly, we know that this is true all too well. So soak it all in, Clap. I believe leaders can in fact, be born. In 1987, I was lucky enough to land a job with the town of Waterford as a 14-year-old summer helper. I don't even know if you remember this, but talk about, impacting others, right? We basically cleaned up around schools and old cemeteries and public areas. This is where I met Clapp. He was my crew leader, and I don't know if I realized it at the time. I think I probably subconsciously did. But this meeting, this encounter, this exposure would have a major impact on who I would become down the road and much later in my life. I tell this story because I know I'm not the only person in this room who has had this experience. Whether you're a member of the United States Navy, a fisherman, a family member, a firefighter, a friend, or someone who maybe met Clapp just in passing, his smile and his charisma are infectious. So when I say leaders are born, I guess what I'm really trying to say is Clapp was just a natural born leader. Not was, you still are. Whether you knew it or not. And lastly, we're big fire buffs, right? So something a little out of the FDNY. It wouldn't be complete without that. In the FDNY, each firehouse, right? A lot of pride there. There's one company in Brooklyn, 290 and 103. Their patch says "We done good" on the bottom, right? Nanny Clapp, you and Tom Senior not only done good, you done great. So Clapp, fish on. See you at the big one. We all love you and wish you the very best in your well-earned retirement. Thank you.
Presentation of gifts. So Chief says one thing about Region. 3 people we need at Region. Sarah to help us with the HR, Ricky to help us with the finance, and Mark Smith to help us with everything in between. So Mark Smith, please come up to make a presentation from Sonoma Fire.
I was kind of hoping it'd have something for me to stand on, but I guess not.
10 fingers.
On behalf of Navy Region Mid-Atlantic Fire Headquarters staff, it gives me a great pleasure to present this plaque to Chief Tommy Clapsaddle. It reads, District Chief Thomas A. Clapsaddle Jr., thank you for 35 years of dedicated service to the United States, to U.S. Navy Fire and Emergency Services and this great nation. Fair winds and following seas as you start this next chapter of your life. Signed, Navy Region Mid-Atlantic Fire and Emergency Services. Also would like to present this plaque to Chief Clapsaddle. It's a certificate of retirement. It reads, this certificate of retirement is presented with sincere appreciation and gratitude to District Chief Thomas A. Clapsaddle Jr. for 34 years, 5 months of faithful, dedicated service to the United States government. October 30, 1989 to March 30, 2024. Signed, R.L. Wiseman, Deputy Chief, C.F. Payne, Fire Chief.
Can I have retired District Fire Chief from the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, Glenn Whitehouse, up here, please? I just came up to give you a hug. Yeah, so 2 quick things about Tommy. When I strive to be like Tommy. Who doesn't want to be like Tommy, right? But as far as being a fire chief, right? And I remember I was 6 weeks on the job as chief at the Navy Yard, and another mind-numbing data call came from Region. No offense, Chuck. And I called Tommy and I go, hey, what is this nonsense? And do we have to do this? And he goes, well, you're new to the job, so you're still on probation, so you probably should, right? And I said, well, you gonna get it done? And he goes, yeah, I don't think so. So that was my mentor. But we would talk constantly in my 8 years as chief, 2 or 3 times a week. Some sometimes we wouldn't, but there was always one phone call I got from Tommy, and it was consistent. It was consistent, and that was when he traveled to Newport to see his guys in Newport to make sure that they were taken care of, or the return trip back. And I always knew that I had the idea what time, and I knew what the phone number he was calling me from. So I would always answer the phone a certain way, and it would be, you know, the phone rings, and I see it's Tommy's cell, and I would go, Sub-Base Fire Station 3, how can I help you? And I would get that Tommy giggle, and followed by, what's up, brother? Well, brother, it's an honor to present to you your retired chief's badge from the region. That was not scripted. That was off the book. Yeah, you taught me that.
That's good. That's good.
All right. No, you're going to stay right here. All right. Next special award is from someone who's very special to us here at the Firehouse. It's a public affairs officer, Chris Zenden.
Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone is too kind. Chief Clapsaddle and Whip and Steve are too kind. They're always thanking me for doing my job in public affairs. And I just want to point out, my job is to be a mirror. I reflect the great success and terrific job that you and the Sub-Base Fire Department do every day. And it's my honor to do so. So thank you for that. One quick thing, because I think Tommy was going to borrow this from me. I've always said, as I've met Tommy since I was at the base in 1999, you know, I've got an Irish wife, national, and there's an Irish saying that it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And that is Tommy. And so I'm here for 3 presentations. We're going to start with our junior person first and then work our way up. And so we are delighted that the 50th Commanding Officer of Naval Submarine Base in New London, he was from May 2013 to December 2015, now Rear Admiral Carl A. Lottie, sent the following letter to Tommy. From Commander, U.S. Naval Forces, Japan, Navy Region, Japan, March 21, 2024. Dear Chief Clapsaddle, congratulations on your retirement and thank you for 35 years of dedicated service to the United States Navy. I deeply appreciate your superlative leadership and direction across 2 installation fire departments over countless calls for service. The concern you consistently showed for the safety, well-being, and quality of life of your team, as well as the sailors, civilians, and their families under your care, was genuinely exceptional. Your many accomplishments and efforts will have a lasting, positive effect on our communities for many years to come. I wish you the best on the next step of your journey and wish you fair winds and following seas. Sincerely, C.A. Lottie. Congratulations. The next is just a statement from U.S. Congressman Joe Courtney, representing Connecticut's 2nd Congressional District since 2007. Talked to the congressman, I've talked to his staff. He is busy fighting to get 2 Virginia-class submarines back in the budget. And so he apologized that his team was not able to get it sent to you, but you'll get it next week. He is entering a floor statement in the U.S. Congressional Record recognizing Tommy's service and accomplishments for 35 years to the Navy. But we do have a presentation from the 43rd President of the United States, President George W. Bush. 2 things that his office had sent and wanted to present. First is going to be this photo, and of course the office, like President Bush, wanted a story relayed. So this is a photo of the President with firefighter Robert Bob Beckwith. Born in Astoria, Queens, New York City on April 16, 1932, Bob Beckwith, who just passed away this February 4th, 2024, was an American firefighter. Bob lived a life of service to others, whether heeding the call to serve in the Navy during the Korean War or as an FDNY firefighter for more than 30 years from 1964 to 1994. So, on 9/11 at Ground Zero, Bob Beckwith, who was in the hospital taking care of his son, or grandson, I'm sorry, who had been hit by a car, got the word that the towers had been struck by a plane. He grabbed his gear, 7 years old, still there, dusty, brushed it off, and rushed to Ground Zero, leaving the hospital. And he arrived and was able to talk his way in. So, 3 days later, on September 14th, he's back down there, and with some other men unearthed Engine Company 76 truck buried in the rubble. They tested its ability to mark as a stand because they were told that the president was coming to speak. The Secret Service and Karl Rove asked Bob to step down, and as the president stood up and Bob handed him a microphone, the president said, "Bob, stay up here with me." Images were taken, and that is Bob and the president right there. And what it reflects is what the president captures in his book that he autographed for Tommy, Decision Points, is that in a crisis, character counts. So Tommy, I present that to you from the president in his office, and congratulations on an outstanding team.
All right, we're getting there. Paul Walsh, Chief from City of New Britain Fire Department, retired. Where is he? Paul? Paul, come on up. We got an unveil on this side of the room over here, over by where the slideshow is. We can bring your attention over there. We'll go over there with Paul. Can't Bob at, of course.
Say anything?
I've known you for quite a long time. Sorry. No. And it was a true honor. So, firefighters have gear, but one of the most important things is their helmet. And a leather helmet says it all. And if you know what I mean, you know. So, I will ask your assistance. There you go. Your gear.